I got interested in it because of my daughter. But the thing that is the most fun about this whole deal is that I still learn new things every day. And I think that's the big difference between the chemical approach and what we're now talking about, is that we really are open-minded and we're really enthusiastic about learning new things. The process is definitely a black and white issue. There's no question about it. If you do it the way that I recommend and for it to work the best, it is a black and white issue. You're either organic or you're not. It all started when my daughter Logan, this was when she was 9 months old, walking around picking up everything she saw and sticking those things in her mouth. That's when it hit me that there's something wrong with toxic chemicals. And I started asking around, and I was led to John Dromgoole in Austin and Malcolm Beck in San Antonio. They introduced me to farmers and ranchers and books, and I started my learning process. And it was literally by watching Logan walk around in my garden. She later became the announcer on my show. Those of you who have heard the show know that. Now, another thing that we've gotten involved in besides plants, and that's evolved tremendously too, is animals, both livestock and pets. And that all started by people asking me, okay, smart guy, how do I control fleas and ticks with this organic approach? And that's how we started learning about diatomaceous earth and a lot of the tools that we recommend now. This was a symbol. In fact, we probably ought to use this symbol more ourselves now because it's perfect for us. But this is the symbol that the chemical lawn care companies put in your yard after spraying. It used to be used by all of them. And I think finally it dawned on them one day that they were putting out a pretty poor message. The organic program is very simple. For those of you who don't know anything about what we're talking about at all, I'm going to run through it quickly for you. When we teach people how to go organic, the very first step, of course, is to stop using the toxic chemicals. That includes both fertilizers and pesticides. And I have really, in a lot of cases, and a lot of the organic people do, a bigger problem with the fertilizers in a lot of ways than I do with the pesticides. Because the fertilizers, people think that they're pretty benign, that they're not really harming anything, but they are. They're salting up the land, they're fouling up the biological activity, they're soluble, so they're going into our water system. And even if they make plants grow, which they do, and be green, they're growing in an artificial way, in an unhealthy way. Weak cell growth, weak watery cells as a result. So if you look at the big picture, we probably have more concern about the fertilizers than we do about the pesticides. But they both need to go and be replaced by the organic, natural products. This is my garden at home, one of my labs. This is the ginkgo tree that you may have heard me talk about before. My ginkgo is pretty special for two reasons. One is that I planted it when Logan was born in 1985. And then the other thing is it has outgrown every ginkgo I've ever seen. It is now over 45 feet tall and has a caliper of 20-something inches and puts on over 20 inches of growth a year. I think it's because it's been in a total organic program the whole time. It's been in soil that has compost and mulches and hasn't had the negative inputs. It's an ancient tree. Ginkgo's been around, since the dinosaurs. It's been found on every continent, and it probably responds more positively to the organic program than any other tree.